Welcome to The Experience, live with Russ and Scott. Join us every Wednesday at 7 a.m. Pacific, 10 a.m. Eastern on LinkedIn, YouTube, and Facebook. Learn more about the Experience community at our website, local.theexperience.video, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. The Experience is brought to you each week by these great sponsors. Present Gifting believes relationships are important. Moments matter. Join the early VIP access list at presentgifting.com. The Gillot Home Team. Their mission is to deliver the key to home ownership through stellar customer service, integrity, and joy. Learn more at teamgillot.com. Capital Mortgage Source. Your trusted mortgage professional is just a click away. Learn more at capitalmortgagesource.com and call the office at 541-829-8042. James Reed & Associates, specializing in comprehensive coverage for nonprofits, ministries, small businesses, and personal lines of coverage. JamesReedAgency.com. Call the office at 503-588-8229. And now let's get on with the show.
Hey, let's get on with the show. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to The Experience Live with Russ and Scott. We are here every Wednesday, 7 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, or that's 9 a.m. Texas Standard Time for your viewing and listening pleasure. That's right. Scott and I are here having a great time live. We want you to engage, but if you miss it, you can catch it on replay, YouTube and Facebook forever. YouTube and LinkedIn forever, Facebook for 30 days. And if you can't watch it, you can listen on all of your favorite podcast platforms, including Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon, iHeartRadio. It goes on and on and on. And so please share, and comment. Right, Scott?
You know, people can also go to local.theexperience.video. That's our little website. It's got links to our LinkedIn profiles, books that we've written, different programs that we have, the Experience Local, Marketing with Russ Reels, and my show here in Waco, Texas, the Waco Experience, an American Story. And just sign up for all of them and cancel your Netflix subscription. We're happy here to add money back into your family.
Oh my goodness, that is so true. I mean, who needs Netflix, right? Come on in and binge The Experience Live with Russ and Scott. I'm telling you, the reason you want to join our YouTube page, and you can get it through local.theexperience.video or go straight to it through theexperience.video. That will take you straight to our YouTube page. And you want to subscribe because there's thousands of amazing people on there. Okay, there is so much great stuff. We are growing, and every day more amazing people like John David today. He's going to be on with us. We're super excited about that. And so you definitely want to sign up for that today. And we're just really encourage you to get out there and engage today. Share this with a friend, tag your friends, let them know we're on right now, give them a reminder, and let's just get this party started today. Right, Scott?
Absolutely. We have the most remarkable people on the planet. Today, you're going to find out what that means.
There you go. For sure. And we want to do just one more quick shout out for the Gillot Home Team, James Reed Associate and Capital Mortgage Source. Without our amazing sponsors, we could not do this, right, Scott? And without you, we could not do this. In fact, we are also listener supported. And so I would love to put that up there, but I don't have that available at the moment. So in the comments and in the show notes, there is a QR code and a link. If you would like to give towards the production costs to this, what we consider a ministry, we would love it. Bringing value to you, bringing great people like John David Mann today to you. And we appreciate that. So thank you so much. And with that, Scott, I think we should just get this party started.
Yeah. We'll just have people throw a couple of nickels in our tip jar while we bring in.
There you go. Well, listen, here he is. This man is known for a lot of things. New York Times bestseller, co-author of The Go-Giver. I'm going to let him tell you the rest. Welcome, John. How are you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. Thanks, Scott. Thanks, Russ. I was going to say, Scott, you're in Waco, Texas, man. Is this correct?
I am in Waco, Texas.
I did not know this. My favorite bookstore in the country is the
Oh,
Fabled
fabled,
Bookshop. I hit
fabled.
that on my last 2 book tours. Yeah, yeah.
Well,
Great place,
fabulous.
great place.
I would love to come down there and take your picture and have you sign my books.
We'll do it again. Russ, hello. Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
Well, I am so happy. You know, originally I got connected with you through Bob Berg, because you worked with him on The Go Giver. Just a very, very popular series of books. There's so many people that I work with in business that know all about The Go Giver, but you have done way more than that. So let's start from the beginning. Just tell us, who in the world is John David Mann? What are you up to?
Who in the world is John David Mann? Why is he saying all these things about me? First off, I should say Bob Berg, dear Bob Berg, ruined my career. And here's the context for that. I started out in life as a concert cellist, as a musician. My dad was a choral conductor and musicologist. My mom was a musician. Both my brothers are professional musicians. And I was a classical musician, composer, won some prizes for composing when I was a teenager. And that's like what I was going to do. But I got sidetracked. My life story is kind of like a pinball game. I've gone from career to career following my, is it ADD? I'm not sure. Following my interests as they changed and changed focus. But I was, at the time that this thing happened, I was intent on being a screenwriter. I wanted to go to Hollywood. I was fascinated with the structure and the skill and the craft of screenplays, of great screenplays like Shawshank Redemption and what have you. And so that's what I was studying. And I knew Bob because I had edited a bunch of his articles for a direct sales journal called Upline, and later Network Marketing Lifestyles. I was very involved in the direct selling industry, both as a distributor on the field side and also as a journalist for many years. And that's how I knew Bob. Bob approached me and said, hey, I got this idea for a book. It's like Go Getter, but it's Go Giver. Kind of twist the idea on its head. And but I can't write this book. I don't know how to, it's like a story. I don't know how to do that. I need you to do that. So I'll make you a deal. You write the book, I'll promote it. And I'll give you all my ideas for the book that I've had, my notes. And I was like, man, I am too busy for this. I am not seeing this. I don't get this. I don't know. I don't know if it's going to work. And I was busy, man, because I wanted to go to Hollywood. But I went and visited Bob for an afternoon. We sat down and chatted about the idea, and I couldn't stop thinking about it. So when I had a spare week, I sat down and wrote a chapter. It's the Deborah Davenport chapter about authenticity. Sat down and sketched out a chapter and sent it to Bob. And he's like, holy moly, this is hot stuff. So in six weeks, we banged out that manuscript. And my life as a screenwriter was over. Since then, I've written and published over 40 books. And have discovered that this appears to be what I was put here on the planet to do, is to write books and help people write books.
You know, I love that you started out as a musician, and the cello is I will say a challenging instrument, but haunting. It's
very human.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, it's very human. It feels, you really feel like you're being sung to by a person when you hear the cello. That could be true of any music, but yeah, the cello is a very personal instrument, and I dearly love it. Music still is my guiding, it kind of it's my spirit animal, if you will. When I'm writing, I kind of hear the structure of a story musically. It's my musical training is kind of never far from me, and that's what I seek to impart in part. In my coaching students and my writing students. I work with a lot of aspiring authors, and that's something I like to bring to them.
And so you did actually write novels then too. So I will say you're able to also fulfill some of that screenplay vision, because I was thinking about Michael Crichton, and he was saying he was criticized because they were saying, oh, you write your books just so they'll be made into movies. He's like, no, I write so you can understand the story. So it's a visual writing.
Yeah. You could say he was criticized. When the Go Giver happened, I had just finished a course. I studied with a brilliant teacher in Hollywood, and I had just finished a course, an advanced course on dialogue. And it was rattling in my head, and that's when we sat down and wrote The Go-Giver. And I think that, the skills, no matter what you're working on in the ways that you develop yourself, when you pursue a craft, when you pursue a skill, it's never wasted. You always bring it with you to the next medium, the next endeavor, the next channel. And that's certainly true with screenwriting. And hey, you could be right. I have a series of thrillers, of 3 thrillers featuring a fugitive Navy SEAL who's been wrongly accused of war crimes. And they're in development as a streaming TV series. Don't know when that'll happen. Hollywood is famous for in development, meaning good luck, Charlie, maybe someday. But we got a great team on it, so this actually could happen, and maybe I'll land on the screen after all. But yeah, the path of my writing is I started with The Go-Giver, and I've written a lot of business books and other people's memoirs, a lot of parables like The Go-Giver, which is kind of my favorite format, with a lot of other authors, and most recently this series of thrillers, which is an entirely different thing, but it's just a joy. It's just a joy to do. So yeah,
yeah, I am excited to start reading your thrillers because they're way up on the top of my list because I love things like that. And so, in fact, you know what? I just finished a book and I'm reading a couple books that friends put out, but I need a good fiction thriller book right now. And so that's what I'm going to look for. So,
when I did those thrillers, by the way, I thought, people, all my fans, all my readers, they've seen me write The Go-Giver and the Recipe and The Vagrant and these sweet, charming stories about nice people doing nice things and learning about leadership and so forth. And what the heck are you doing writing these stories about serial killers and terrible things? And I thought that I'd lose all my readers. And I was so surprised. Everybody that is like a Go-Giver fan was like, oh, I can't wait to get the next one. Bob said, you kept me up until like 2:30 in the morning. And Bob Berg is a guy who goes to bed at 9 p.m. So I hope you enjoy them, Russ. They're called Steel Fear, Cold Fear, and Blind Fear, a series of 3.
There you go. We'll get that information in the comments because we definitely want people to know about that. And I love books. And if a book keeps me up, since I go to bed at 7:30 normally, I am a very early to bed and a 4 a.m. riser in the morning. And so I like to get up early. Today, in fact, I got the joy of getting up at 2 a.m. I had to drop my daughter off at the airport. So I had a fun time getting up even earlier than normal. But you know what? What I love is the variety of what you do and how you are taking your God-given talents for writing and helping so many people, not only write for them, but just helping people in the whole process. If somebody wants to come to you and they just want your wisdom and they need some help from you, what do you do in those areas? If they're not looking for you to write it for them, but they really want some help from you, do you coach people through?
It's a great question. Over the years, I had so many people contact me and say, I got this great idea for a story. I'm working on it. Is there any way you can read it for me or give me your comments or input? Can I hire you as a coach? And I could never really do it because there's not enough hours at the clock. Sure. But eventually I finally started a coaching program. So to answer that, I've got some very inexpensive online courses that are limited in scope, but they give some good basic concepts. And I advertise those on Facebook. People can find them pretty easily. But I have a 1-year coaching program for people who want to write a book, whether it's nonfiction or it's fiction, it's a memoir, parable, whatever, novel. And it's just a blast. I've been doing it for 3 years now, and I've got the most phenomenal people in the world in this group. So yeah, that's the vehicle I've been able to create to help people who want my input and want to learn how to write a book.
Yeah.
It's fun to help people extract things out of their brain. And
nothing better. Nothing better. I mean, people ask, why did you start this program? It's two reasons, really. One is selfish, because when you teach something, you get to know it better.
The teacher always
Isn't
learns
that the
more than the
case?
student.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You give a talk in public and you say, "Oh, that thing that just came out of my mouth, right? I think that's true, and I never knew that before." And that's what teachers always experience. So in coaching other writers, I become a better writer. But it also is a joy to help people. I see so many books, you guys, especially these days with so much self-publishing. So many entrepreneurs are writing the books. So many business people are writing the books. So many people who've never been an author before are wanting to write a book. And I see so many of them come out on a self-published platform that could have been great. It's like Renee Zellweger says and Jerry Maguire, I love the man for who he almost is. They're kind of like that. And these books break my heart because I can see the heart of the writer and how good they could be, but they're like a cake that hasn't been all the way baked. It's still soupy, you know? And so it is really a privilege and an honor and a joy to help people take their idea and raise it to a level of excellence and make that one book in 1,000 or one book in 100,000 that stands out and really commands a readership.
Yeah, you know, I want to say right off the bat, I love this conversation. I got to take just a little sidestep and tell everybody the comments are not coming through to StreamYard today, but we see you on LinkedIn, we see you on Facebook, we see you on YouTube. So keep them coming because we see you there. We just aren't getting them through here to put on the screen to say hey to you. So thank you so much for everybody that's watching, involvement. And I know that out there, there's so many people that want to write a book and they just don't know where to start. And my good friend, Mr. D. Scott Smith says, everybody's got a book in them. I wrote my first book because of this guy and his encouragement, but how would you encourage somebody that's really wanting to do that? They just have no idea how to start. I mean, no concept, even where to go to begin.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's not only a great question, but it's a question a lot of people have. And it's actually also a question that stops people often from even trying it. It's like, I don't know where to begin. I have no idea what to do. It feels intimidating. I'll put it off forever. A couple of things you can do. I mean, I think the first thing, and in a sense, the most important, is to read, is to identify what are the books that you admire most. Who are your heroes on the page? Every writer I know who's been in any way successful, and I don't mean they're a bestseller or they're famous. I mean, any authors who's produced writing that has made a difference in people's lives, that it has an impact, has heroes on the page. Stephen King famously said, if you don't have time to read, you don't have the time or the skills to write, right? And that's so absolutely on point. So give yourself permission to write, to read rather, and identify those heroes that you want to emulate. It's okay to emulate other writers. Don't worry that you're copying them. We all copy. That's how you get started, right? Every public speaker has speakers that they emulate. So reading is one thing. The second thing is what stops most aspiring writers who undertake to write a book is they write a little bit, a paragraph to a page, and then read it and say, this is crap. And then they crumple it up, throw it away, start again, read it and say, oh, this is garbage. Crumple it up, throw it away, and end up saying, why did I ever think that I could do this? So here's possibly the most important secret bit of inside knowledge that any writer needs to know. Every great book started out as a lousy draft. Every book started out as a piece of paper that ought to be crumpled up and thrown away. That's universal. In fact, it's supposed to be that way. When you're drafting something, it's not to produce something great on the page. It's to start getting the flow of thoughts and ideas and concepts onto a page. It's like throwing clay onto the potter's wheel. When you throw it on the wheel, it's a lump of clay. It doesn't look like fantastic finished pottery. That's the process. So you have to give yourself permission to write lousy drafts and don't edit them. You cannot edit while you write. Just write. Throw it on the page, let it go. Doesn't matter if it's in sequence, doesn't matter if it's logical, doesn't matter if you start at page 1. Start wherever your fire is, wherever the spark is, wherever your thoughts go. And give yourself permission to not read it, not correct it, not edit it, not improve it. Just put it on the page. That's probably a a best first place to start. Give yourself permission to engage in the process. It will get better. You may have to hire an editor to help you, but it will get better, I promise.
Well, first of all, I want to tell you, you have just really come in and solidified the great advice I got when I first wrote, which was exactly that. Don't edit yourself. Just write. Get it out, because really a lot of the stuff you think is garbage, really parts of it, maybe doesn't work here, but that might work over here. And you can all of a sudden start take a look at what you've written and use things that you might have thrown away. Plus, it's way more encouraging when you get a big piece of your manuscript all together, as opposed to just little bits and pieces. So I love that. I'm going to let you follow up on that, but I want to also tell everybody, Bob is watching. Thank you so much, Bob. Appreciate you. He's in the comments and LinkedIn, so appreciate Bob. So go ahead, John.
Yeah, there's kind of two pieces to that coin, or two sides to that coin. I think it might also be Stephen King. I'm quoting King a lot here, who said that to write is human, to rewrite is divine, and it's really true. There are kind of two different faculties in your brain you need to use to write something decent. One is I call it write drunk, edit sober. When you write without filters. Just put it on the page, and not only, as you said, Russ, to just write without editing, but also to write without expectation. Try to disconnect yourself from the expectation that you have on yourself, that this is going to be great, this is going to be good. It probably won't, when you look at it on the page, it probably won't even express very well what you meant to say, because it's a clumsy process, particularly when we're not accustomed to it. So put it on the page, and then later, tomorrow, next week, this afternoon, whenever, when you've separated yourself emotionally from the process of putting it on the page, you come back to it and start to look at it and sift through and say, where are the diamonds in the mud here? We have in my coaching program, I just did this last night. We have a thing we call Rewrite Lab, where I take a piece of someone's writing, a draft, someone's writing, put it up on the screen in Zoom, and revise it in real time. It takes about an hour. I take a chapter or a prologue or something. And here's what's so cool and amazing and revelatory about that process. What you first see on the screen isn't that great, typically. It's you see all the bumps and the warts and the places it doesn't work, and it's clumsy and it's awkward. And with a little bit of tuning of the dials, suddenly this thing emerges that is incredible. That's really powerful. And the amazing thing is, it was already there. It was there underneath the clumsiness. In my book, How to Write Good, which is coming out later in the year, it isn't out yet, but I actually show the first page of The Go-Giver in its original draft, which frankly isn't very good. And then side by side, all the revisions that turned it into the first page as it got published. And you can see that all the stuff that's in that published page is there in potential in the crappy page. But honestly, Russ, Scott, I'm not kidding you. That first page of the draft, so full of flaws, so distracted, so awkward, so too wordy. It wasn't very good. And that's how it is with all good writing. It starts out looking ugly.
I had put in the comment about the Valley of Despair, and we can look at that as think of a graph, right? And on the vertical, you've got knowledge plus enthusiasm, and then you've got time along the bottom. So we start somewhere. We have a lot of knowledge, but we're not very enthusiastic about what we're doing. And then we think, you know what? I'm going to write a book, and you're very enthusiastic. So it goes up. And then you start learning what you don't know. Oh, I don't know about this. I don't know about publishing. I don't know about editing. Oh, book covers. And then, so you start to fall down. But then you have a win, right? And you meet someone like John Mann, who says, do this. And you have a little win. And so pretty soon you climb back up and your knowledge and enthusiasm is higher. But it's that valley of despair that we have to get across. And this is why Russ and I are big proponents of people like yourself as a coach, because we say isolation is the killer.
Yes. Yes, 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 yes. So true. If I can identify 3 steps to making a book realize its potential, that first is to start. Just do it. It's the right drunk part for sure. The second is to be willing to engage in the learning curve, to develop the skills of rewrite, develop the skills of editing. The third is get help. Don't do it alone. And I'll give you an example of this. I contend a lot of people watching this probably are maybe heading toward the self-publishing channel. It's a huge channel these days. But this goes not just for self-publishers, but for any authors. I contend no author should design their own cover. I have not yet seen an exception that I can really get behind. No author should title their book without deeply considered professional input. No author should design their front-facing Amazon page without deeply considered professional input. You need professional help in several areas. Book design, cover design is one, titling is one, interior design is one, and the editing of the text itself is one. If you're going to self-publish, you got to farm those things out to pros.
Mhm.
And if you're with a traditional publisher, the publishing company handles all of that, but be engaged in the process very, very deeply, because it's so critical. I typically, even for writers who are going to be traditionally published, the publisher will bring their own editor to the process. I still counsel them to hire their own editor first before even approaching an agent or a publisher. I've done this myself. My first novel, I'd already written almost 40 books, but I hired a professional book consultant to go through my whole manuscript and tell me what was wrong that I wasn't seeing.
Yeah.
Being
Well, 'cause
involved
we
in
all
it, being involved in it deeply is so important. I've talked to a lot of authors over the years, and one of the ones that I love are those who write children's books,
Yeah,
because generally speaking, they are the author, but not the artist. And they have to go through so many different artists to find someone who has the same vision for the
yeah,
style of art. And
yeah,
this is what I hear with the covers, the titles, the author pages, the front,
yeah,
everything.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I've never written a children's book, but I can totally appreciate that, because I have a dear friend who writes children's books, and he's gone through several illustrators. It's such an important part of the process. But beyond illustrators, what you're saying is collaborators. You
Mhm.
really cannot do this on your own. No author does. What there probably is like one or two outlying exceptions of people who are total polymaths. But most of us mortals, we need help. We need a team.
Yes, I couldn't agree more, man. Without a good team, I could have never written the books that I have, because I had no idea going into it what to do. And getting good people around you that have an idea of what to do is always a good idea. And that's why I highly recommend Mr. John David Mann, for everybody watching today, that you would check out his materials, definitely read his books. What's the first book in the series, the thriller series, John?
It's called Steel, like the metal, Steel Fear. And it's
Steel
set
Fear.
on an aircraft carrier. That's the steel part, the steel tube the size of an Empire State Building on its side in the ocean, with 6,000 souls on board. And somewhere in there's a serial killer.
I'm buying it right after we get offline here. So anyway, listen, I cannot tell you how much we appreciate you. We could talk for hours still, because Scott and I are still bursting with questions and want to talk more. But two things coming up. I know Scott's got you lined up for something, and I hopefully will get you in that other show as well, so we can talk to you a little
Fantastic.
bit more. But such a blessing, such a blessing. Could you give us your gold nugget of today, what you really want people to remember about our discussion, and then tell everybody how they get in touch with you?
Okay, 1-2 punch. The one is, I know Scott famously says everybody has a book in them. I would add this. There is a book in you that nobody else on the planet is
Mm.
qualified to write. Nobody else can bring that. There are plenty of writers who have more experience than you, who are more famous than you, but nobody has lived the life that you've lived. Nobody has seen the universe the precise way that you see it. And I don't know what that book is. It might be memoir. It might be a how-to book. It might be a business book. It might be a parable. It might be a children's book. It might be a cookbook. but it's uniquely you, and there ain't no other you around to do it. So there you go. Don't leave this planet with that book unspoken inside you. As far as how to get hold of me, I have a website, johndavidmann.com. It's my name. And on that, I have there's a tab, I think, for coaching. That'll take you to my my coaching program. And you'll probably, if you browse Facebook or Instagram at all, you'll probably bump into my ad at some point. My big smiling mug saying, "What if you wrote a book and it changed the world?"
That's perfect. My tagline underneath my picture on my LinkedIn profile says, "One conversation can change your life or change your business." So one book that you write will definitely change the world. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. And you have definitely changed the world, because I know so many people that have already read your books that think they're amazing. And you and Bob did an amazing job with The Go Giver and just all that you're doing. So we're going to continue this conversation another time. But for today, thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much for being on with us today, John. And we're going to say goodbye on screen, but hang tight for just a minute in the green room. We'll be right there. Okay.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks so much.
Oh my gosh.
Wow. Amazing.
Yeah. Time flies too fast, right? There's a half hour that has been invested in, and I trust that people will start writing their book. And I will say, I love this rewriting thing. And maybe instead of saying, I write books, say, I rewrite my books.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's just interesting talking to people like John. It just kind of makes your brain explode. It's kind of like a conversation with you, Scott. There's so much information coming at me. I can't keep it all straight. But anyway, hey, it is such a blessing. I can't tell you how much I love and appreciate you, and the opportunity that you and I have a couple times a week to get together, interview these amazing people, give value to all those watching. So I just want to say thank you, thank you, thank you. And I'm ready for a great rest of the week. How about you?
Oh, absolutely. And I'll just remind people, go to local.theexperience.video, Marketing with Russ, Russ Reels, The Experience Live with Russ and Scott, The Experience Local, and the Waco Experience. You can get links all there. Find all the different programs. And we do bring the most remarkable people on the planet. JohnDavidMann.com. You're going to go to his website and find out Russ and Scott are not lying.
Yeah, exactly. And I am just, like I said, amazing conversation today. And I was going to get that back up here on screen, but it doesn't seem to be behaving right now. So, here we go. Now I can get it. There we go. JohnDavidMann.com. There it is. Trying to produce and talk all at the same time. It's kind of hard sometimes. Anyway, Scott, thank you. We're going to wrap things up for today. Thanks, everybody, for joining us. Don't forget, we're here every Wednesday, 7 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, 9 a.m. Texas Standard Time for your viewing and listening pleasure. It goes from live. If you miss it, you can catch a replay on LinkedIn and YouTube forever, or Facebook for 30 days. And it converts to audio podcasts on all your favorite podcast platforms. So check that out. And please like, comment, and share whatever your favorite platform is. We appreciate that. We're always happy. We got to have our other co-host drop in.
There we go.
There you go. Top the show off. So with that, have a blessed week, everybody, and enjoy
the experience.
See ya.
Thanks for tuning in to The Experience Live with Russ and Scott. If you enjoyed today's show, please share it with others, post about it on social media, or subscribe on YouTube. See you next time.